Hey everybody, it's Robert, and I'm out here with Dan and Walt's on camera today. And where are we at today, Dan?
We are in an area of Talbot County that is east of Rough Edge. We're between Rough Edge and the Flint River, and this is known as, well, south of here is an area known as Buncombe long ago. But this particular cemetery that we've run up on here now is known as Conquest Methodist Church Cemetery. And the church was abandoned long ago, and I believe that from what I've read, that the church was torn down in about 1968.
Gotcha.
After being abandoned for a long time. But there's a lot of graves out here.
Yes, there are.
Abandoned in the woods.
Yeah. And so this, would you say that this area, because the other side of the Flint River was settled earlier than this part of the river. So I was just wondering, because we're closer to the Flint River, would this been even earlier settlement? You know?
Yes, this was settled a lot earlier than the rest of the county because of a lot of people came across the river, and there was back before this area was ceded to the state of Georgia by the Creek Nation. The Indians here, the Creek Indians, were friendly in this area, and there was a Creek Indian named Joseph Marshall that operated a ferry on the Flint River. And he had a big, what they called a reservation in this area. And he had farms, and he had families, Creek Indian families that lived on those farms. And they were friendly to the white settlers. So a lot of the white settlers came across here and farmed in this area before the land was ever divided up. So you do have some early settlements here that are a lot earlier than our older houses that are older than the ones closer to the other side of Rough Edge. But this is one of the early Methodist churches that was formed here. And this is really all that's left is the cemetery.
All right, let's take a look. So I gotta say, when we first walked into this cemetery, I thought it was just this section right here, but it keeps extending all the way down there. And this is a single grave inside of this wrought iron fence here. It says our mother, Eliza Webster Davis. She was born May 12th, 1830 and died July 11th, 1900. At the bottom it says asleep in Jesus.
Now, aside from the graves, they're interesting, but look at the size of that holly tree.
Oh man, I did not realize that was a holly tree right there.
That is an old holly tree.
Yes, it is. Now, the holly trees at my place, at the Bird Farm, are old and they're big, but they're not that big, you know. And so I wonder how old that tree is.
That was probably planted at the head of, or maybe the foot of someone's grave. It looks like it may have been between two graves. There's a grave there and there.
Yeah, there are a lot of unmarked graves out here. There's fieldstone there, fieldstone there, and there, and there, and there. We walk to this farthest end of the graveyard. This is Miss Ann Rebecca Stinson, born January 10th, 1807, and died August 31st, 1891. Have the graves of two children that are unmarked right there. And this is in memory of M.A. Gray, born February 5th, 1820, and died April the 3rd, 1850. My home is in glory. This is the infant of T.E. and M.A. Gray. This is in memory of Elizabeth Dyer, aged 68 years. At the bottom it says, I shall not want. And this is interesting, something that we've seen before where the name is on the reverse of what we would usually assume the burial is. Normally we would see the name on the headstone back here, kind of like that one over there. This is the infant of W.S. and F. Webster. J.A. Webster, born September 1837, died May 16th, 1838. It's interesting the way that they stamped that in there. Angels have borne my spirit home. In memory of Sharon Webster, born August 10th, 1796, and died April 9th. It looks like 1888, I believe. Well, I wonder if that's 30. That's 38. 1838. The dead in Christ. The dead in Christ shall rise first.
These old headstones here are interesting because they are actually poured out of concrete.
Yeah.
And then they were coated with whitewash to make them look like they were marble.
Right.
It's amazing that that has held up as long as it has.
Yeah, it is.
In this case, I think instead of whitewash, I believe this is white lead. Lead paint. See how all this peeling.
Yeah. Let's look at this one in the brick wall here. So I'm assuming that these were probably put here later after the burials, being concrete like that.
Probably so.
Sarah J. Woodall, born May 24th, 1849, died April 11th, 1852. Budded on earth to blossom in heaven. Oh, yeah.
This one over here, it's got writing on it, but it's covered up. Did you bring a broom?
I did not. I did not. Let's see. Is that James Hugh? I'm looking at it upside down. I guess you are. H-O-U-G-H. Born August 10th, 1812. Died March 24th, 1857. Aged 44 years, 7 months, and 14 days. An honest Christian man, a faithful friend. A place is vacant. Is that what it says? Yeah, a place is vacant. At our, I can go into the start. It's a very common epitaph, but I think this one's a little bit different.
Yeah, I believe it says hearth, H-E-A-R-T-H.
The place is vacant at our hearth, yep, which never can be filled. Usually it says a place is vacant in our home, which
Or a place is vacant in our heart.
in our heart,
I've
yeah.
seen that one also.
Interesting.
I've never seen one that says hearth.
Yeah, me either.
It's interesting also, this is a built-up rock grave. You know, we're talking about dating rock graves.
Yeah.
What was the date of his death? 1850.
1852, 57.
1857. I believe this has been knocked around and it laid on top of this.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Or it stood at the head of it. I believe that this may be the piece that stood at the head here, and it's been broken.
Could have, yeah. There was one under the tree over here, so that's a footstone, I think. JH 1857. Let's see if it could just be I wonder if that's a child's grave right there, the headstone and a footstone there.
Yeah, I believe it is.
I shot it.
Yeah. Oh, that one's rough. In memory of W.T. Hugh, born May 16th. It looks like 1850. Died August 4th, 1862, maybe. We miss thee at home. We miss thee at home. You see the row of cedar trees right there that have been cut. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and look at that one has pine trees growing up on top of it. Kind of similar to the cedar tree that was growing on the other one. Rock grave. Another one with a pine tree growing on top of it. And I just stepped on a fieldstone marker right there. There's more here. The fieldstone right there. One over there. One over there. This is Robert B. Barrow. Born January 18th, 1838 and died August 11th, 1861. So there's another date for a stacked stone grave. A wife bereft of a dear husband, with a tender babe too young to mourn, but when to riper years she'll rise, these lines will paint her where her father lies. These lines will point her. These lines will point her where her father lies. An honest man, the noblest gift of God. This is in memory of Nanny Eliza, wife of William A. Chun, daughter of Thomas and Sabrina Barron, born April 4th, 1844, died August 5th, 1866, aged 22 years and 4 months, also their infant. Amiable and beloved wife, farewell. Thy years were few, but thy virtues many. They are recorded not on this perishable stone, but in the book of life, and in the hearts of thy afflicted friends. Beautiful and lovely, she was given a fair bud of earth to bloom in heaven.
I know that her grave is the only one that I see out here that's made of handmade wood.
It sure is.
And her name, her maiden name, Chun. That's a very old name north of here in the town of Woodbury, Georgia. There's a lot of Chuns that live there.
Kenneth Russell, son of Mr. and Mrs. J.L. Sewell, born July 5th, 1903, died February 23rd, 1904. This is in memory of Rebecca D Barrow, born May 20th, 1846, died May 30th, 1902. She has finished her work. Shall we mourn our beloved one, or weep that her face we no longer behold? Oh, sweet is our hope in this moment of anguish. We'll meet her again in the city of gold. Mrs. Sabrina A., wife of Thomas Barron, born September 15th, 1812, died February 1st, 1883. And I'm not gonna attempt that epitaph.
I'm gonna guess that that is just about.
Yeah. In memory of T.E. Barron, born October 22nd, 1802, died January 15th, 1875. Laura J., wife of Benjamin J. Jones, February 15th, 1853 to June 3rd, 1888. Mrs. A.J. Say, S-E-A-Y, born August 21st, 1822, died September 22nd, 1888. It's in memory of Dr. W.W. Say. Is it, would you?
That's pronounced C.
C, okay.
My mother was related to the C's in,
really?
In a roundabout way.
Yeah.
But I've never heard of this one.
Gotcha. In memory of Dr. W.W. C., born March 28th, 1819, died October 25th, 1885.
Her family was connected to the C family of Meriwether County, which is probably about 8 miles from here, north, just over the mountain, is where they lived.
Gotcha.
So I'll have to check into that and see how this Mr. C is connected. That was a doctor, right?
Yeah,
Dr. C.
Dr. W.W. C.
Hmm.
In memory of Thomas, looks like Rayleigh. Rayleigh, son of W.W. and A.J. C., born November 14th, 1843.
Killed on Kennesaw Mountain.
Wow, killed on Kennesaw Mountain, July 3rd, 1864. killed on Kennesaw Mountain. That was the battle for Atlanta, wasn't it?
Battle of Kennesaw Mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just north of Atlanta.
It led up to the Battle of Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Wow. And then we've got more of these stacked stone graves here. Do you think that these are earlier than that one? Is it, you see that one's flat on top, whereas these are pyramided? The one with the marker, I mean.
I would guess that they are older.
It's interesting to me that he made it back here, because so many people did not make it back home.
Well, what year did his dad pass away?
1885.
His father was a doctor.
Yeah.
He probably had money to send after him.
Gotcha. Oh wow! Oh, look at that! This is, I think that's the back of it. Oh, okay, it keeps going here. There's nothing on it.
No inscription at all.
No. At first I thought it was smaller and had fallen over, but it is a a marble slab, but no inscription. Unless headstone is up here, which it is not. We were just about to say that there's a lot more graves out here. I see one that might be marked. No, just a box right here. Two good-sized indentions right there. So then we're going to take a look at those. These are the last ones we haven't looked at. Here we have Robert B. Woodall, born February 7th, 1824, and died November 12th, 1861. And over here we have Cornelia E Woodall, born March 7th, 1831, and died July 13th, 1899. Her children rise up and call her blessed. There's an epitaph on this one too. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called... My light out. Oh, there we go. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God.
The Woodall family were very prominent, and still are, in this part of the country, especially in northern part of Talbot County. This plot here was situated very nicely at one time, with this brick wall around it.
And big headstones too. These are the first two children's graves I think I pointed out at the start of this video. And Dan actually spotted that they are named. I don't think I'm going to be able to make anything off of it.
It would have seemed that if the sun hadn't been at such an angle.
Yeah. I can't make anything out. Same way. Oh, look at this.
Something is falling over.
SH, son of WH and ET Olive. This died 1862, so born May 2nd, 1860, and died November 27th, 1862. So there's probably, I would guess, maybe also Olive children.
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe what that name was. I believe that is Olive. Oh, it's an O right there.
Yeah. All right, I hope everybody enjoyed seeing this cemetery with us today. This is actually a graveyard, not a cemetery, because it used to be associated with a church that was somewhere around here. It would be interesting to know where the church actually stood. But a very, very fascinating place. And you had said that this used to be a community here. And obviously we see all of these people here that would have attended this church and been buried here. I think it's interesting, don't see too many names after the turn of the century.
No.
Too many burials after the turn of the century, so pretty neat. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.